the meal drum on that Taiko. We have no other instrument that speaks as eloquently. Not just because it's big and loud, but it is the voice of all people, over 50% of our world population, that don't eat regularly. And they are usually not in a very high place in society, and they cannot make waves. And so they stuff it. But when they are hungry and they smell the delicious flavors from the kitchens of those who do eat every week, every day, 3 times a day, there is a burning in them of hunger and of anger. And yet it has to be contained. Even the samurai, the second class of samurai, would walk with toothpicks between their teeth, walking down the street, to look as though they had just enjoyed a feast when all they had was water, to put on some bravado. But they too, I'm sure, carried something in their gut of why, if we are of such a place in our society, must we bear this, barely getting by. And so that has to be the voice of that drum. That space between the two hides is how many billion people? If we're half of ours, what, 3.5 billion? Are we 7 billion now? Something like that. That aren't eating regularly. And they smell the flavors that come from this Zendo, from all other places, and they want their share too, but they cannot even ask for it. But their very depth of being does. And so that is their voice. And it says, even though we cannot join you in this meal, we join you with hands in gasho, facing the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas that still do keep us alive, keep us going this time around. No other instrument has that high a duty. So it must be played with constrained passion and fire, rage and a sense of justice, and also pride that one is born a human being, and with the undying hope that to live even a little bit more as a human being, moment by moment, will be possible in your lifetime. We had wonderful lessons from Tom Kurai, an excellent Taiko drummer. And there are very specific ways of playing the drum for that. At the women's monastery, we had some people who were good on the drum. And when I was privileged to be in the senior training with the Shikei members, 28 of us started out, a fair number were exactly that. You heard that drum and it gave you goosebumps every time they played it. And there were others who suffered tremendously, who had multiple talents in so many ways, but not particularly for the drum. And so it's so for all of us. There's many things that you can do, I can never do. Maybe vice versa too. But I'd like to give you examples from time to time so that you not forget, and especially not just the sound of it, but the meaning of what it is to hear that drum. So I'll put in the 3 rundowns: medium, medium, small, big. The start, the build up. You don't look at the drum, you look at the person, where they are. Bring it down. 1 big one. Pause. And build again. This one's sustained because there's more to do. Hungry, hungry, hungry. One. Look at it there in front of the Buddha. Down. Pause. Medium big. Close together. Pause. so that all in the precincts of the temple hear that and know exactly what's going on, when to bring in the food, because they are servers, not like we do at the table. Nevertheless, it's still good to keep the reasons. And the last, when the person steps back, that should be the apex. Putting down the food for the Buddha and stepping back to bow. There it is. It has gone from us to you. It has gone from the secular world, the phenomenal world, to the world of the sacred. Our tiny gesture of gratitude. And then descending, ending with person stepping sideways, medium, small, big.
Now, should you want someone to walk in with the tray while you're doing it? Do you need that, or do you?
I don't need it, but if you would like to see it done that way, I can do that. Daishin, you want to?
Sure.
Do the tray?
Sure.
Like a thunderstorm just moving out. I can't eat, but I've been part of this. I have heard it from my hut, from my walk outside the temple. And the food is probably what I helped to grow. From the soul to the temple, were donated to the temple. And so I have some part of the Dharma that comes to me. It should have the greatest key energy, the greatest vigor of anything